up? What's up? Okay, now this is probably one of my favorite things to talk about, and that is protection and protection using salt. So, why do I like using salt for protection? Couple of reasons. Firstly, it's so affordable. You've got salt in your cupboard right now, I bet. I don't even know anyone that doesn't own salt. Um, you've got salt somewhere, and if you don't have salt somewhere, go and get some from your neighbor. Of course everybody has salt, right? But salt is so amazing for many different reasons. And really, if I could wipe away so many other magical ingredients and just keep perhaps my top five, salt would definitely be in that top five. Now, in this lesson, I go through, if you check your lesson plan on the website, you'll see that I talk about many different colors of salt and what that actually means. But what I'm going to talk to you about in this video is two important uses for salt and uses that I want you to do right now in this lesson to really get the protection that you need from multiple things. And it's super, super easy to do. And it should be part of your regular routine. Now, if I wasn't teaching hoodoo witchcraft, if I was just teaching, straight out witchcraft, then this would be one of the beginning lessons. As this is a 52-week course where every single week I'm sharing with you a specific lesson that I actually want you to take action on every week. I had to start you off in hoodoo witchcraft with really understanding the path of how we got to where we are. And of course, what I like to do is give you guys some exercises and rituals and spells that I know people want to bring on into their life, and because this is why they're buying the course, right? Because you've got issues in your love life, or you want more money, or you want something else. So we've thrown it all there. But I've decided that I really need to talk to you guys about protection, because here's what happens. When you start to open your mind to the spiritual world, even if it's praying to Jesus, what you're actually doing is opening up that sixth sense to the universe and connecting with spirit. Now, when you open that portal, you don't just connect to Jesus, you connect to the spiritual world. Unfortunately for you and for everyone else who does this, you believe that you're just connecting to one point, but what it actually does, it puts up an antenna in the spiritual world and says, I'm here, look at me and hear me. I'm an energetic being and I want to connect to other energetic beings for the purpose of self-improvement. Okay, or there's many other reasons why you connect to the spiritual world. But even if you're reading the tarot, it's still connecting to the spiritual world. So why am I telling you this? Is it a bad thing? No, it's not. Naturally, I'm going to say that, right? But the point is that when you open that vortex into the spiritual world, you're attracting other entities that you do want, but also everything else that's out there in the universe, in the spiritual world, that are parasites, to come and connect to you, perhaps connect to your home. And you need to be able to do at least the basics in order to protect yourself. And even myself now, there's so much out there that we just don't know about while we're in this form, that we have to take precautions, insurance if you want. And by using salt in your rituals, this can kind of help you overcome the majority of these challenges that you may have with spiritual entities that you don't want, or parasites or stuff like that. So I'm sharing in this lesson, because it's supposed to be just this week that I want you to actually do this. some really easy activities that you should be able to do as soon as you finish this lesson. That is my goal, okay? That you don't have to jump online and buy a whole bunch of stuff or whatever, that you can go to your cupboard in the kitchen, probably pull out some of this stuff and do it right now. That is my goal for you. Now, of course, in the lesson plan, I've gone into a little bit of detail. I'm just looking at that now. So get onto the website. In your lesson plan, I've got the uses for all the various types of salt, some other ideas on how you can use salt in some of your rituals in day-to-day life. I've got a recipe for black salt there as well, how you can make black salt and what that's used for. So basically, I mean, black salt's really used like in the corners of your home for protection. If you want to make a circle of it outside your property or business for protection, um, you can sprinkle some black salt across your door frame and mention the person that you don't want to come through the door's name. That's quite common. It's a common use for black salt. Even in the office, you know, sprinkling some black salt around your desk area and actually saying the name of the person that's really like either stalking you or harassing you. Hopefully, once they approach your work area, they'll be able to back off quickly. So that's a few ideas for black salt. And so in the lesson plan, you're going to see a recipe black salt. Just know the black salt you make at home, and I please make it yourself. It's so easy. You should be making stuff yourself right now. Don't think the stuff that you buy at the shops is better than the stuff you can make yourself. Just make it yourself, label it, and just use it. And even if you want to buy it, you know, we sell black salt in the store, of course, and it's cheap as chips. I think it's like $2 or $3 for any of these. I would buy, I mean, this is such a small amount. Like when you've just heard me say what I would recommend doing with black salt, right? So could you imagine making a circle around your house with this amount? Like, don't be tight. Get a pound of black salt if you're too lazy to make it or you can't be bothered. It's like $12 for a pound. Like, just get a damn pound of black salt and throw that around your house or make it yourself. Make a ton of it. Probably cost you, I don't know, $6 or $7, whatever. It's one of the essential tools you need in your toolkit. So going back to the lesson plan, I go into also an easy saltwater cleanse ritual. And this is one, I've done a few videos on other channels for saltwater cleansing. But remember, the goal in this lesson is just to go to your closet, like your cupboard right now, get out the salt and do something. So that ritual is in your lesson plan. And yes, that is super easy. It's just a bowl with the sea salt and some water and saying a specific prayer for a very easy cleanse. There's no candle lighting. There's no other specific ritual about it. It's just the process. And I think for most of you who are doing this course, it's just getting into a process. Because I've been in consultation all day, I understand that for most of you out there, you want to get it right. That's really important, to get it right. And it's like, I was talking to she does nails. She's got a very successful nail salon. And I put it to her like this, because she was worrying about getting it right in terms of disposal of like wax and stuff like that. And I said to her, so long as you do the ritual with the right intention and the right, like, authentically, there's going to be no harm. So but because she's a nail technician, I said, it's like if you don't put a base coat and then you put the nail polish and then a top coat. Because you didn't put the base coat, does that mean your nails aren't going to be fabulous? No, it's not like that anymore. It's just a part of that routine that you missed out on. Doesn't mean these are going to look like shit because you haven't put on that base coat. You just haven't done it. Could it be better if there was a base coat on it? Maybe, but it's so marginal. So when you're learning, I'd rather you just get in there and do it. Like, spend a little bit of time each week learning something new, than making this overly complex with a whole ton of reading, and it's going to be too much for the modern person to really take on board. Do you get what I mean? And she totally understood that, and like, yeah, just get on with it. I just want to learn this art. Let me just get on with it. That's what's really important for you. Okay. So that easy salt cleanse ritual is in your lesson plan for sure. So let me talk about why something that I'm not going to put in the lesson plan. So I'm going to make sure you watch the video. And this is saltwater bowls. I've been talking about this for years. And I think even when I'm doing spiritual removal, like if there's large entities, demonic entities, interplanetary parasites, and I talk about, like, at the end of the ritual getting saltwater bowls, and people are like, what are you saying right now? Going back to salt, it's one of those substances that are just probably one of, like, the key substance to use. So let me get into the mechanics of spiritual protection. So if you imagine that our bodies have an aura, an auric field that permeates probably about, depending on how strong it is, right, and how evolved it is, but your aura is actually visible. Some people can see auras. If you don't believe in this, go and get in Sedona if you're in the USA. There's a place that actually takes pictures of auras. It's called Krillian photography. And it can actually take a picture of the colors in your aura. And then there's someone there that can read it, but sometimes, like, you'll be able to tell yourself, like, see yourself how strong your aura is, or where there's breaks in your aura. Now, if you want me to talk more about this and what I'm going to talk in this lesson, please make comments in the comment section of the lesson, and I can get into this in a really deep level, because it's I've been practicing this for a very long time, and there's something that I know. For example, in black magic, if I want to take someone down, the first thing that I'm going to do is remove um, or their aura, like, not remove their aura is still going to be there, but I'm going to create cracks in the aura. I'm going to change the colors of their aura. I'm going to permeate, like, throw in like brown or gray energy into that aura, so their aura breaks down and their whole body becomes weak. That's really important. And then I might cast the hex or the curse, because then I know when they're in a weakened state, it's going to hit them, and it's going to be a lot faster. If someone, for example, throws a hex or a curse at me, I'm not going to say why I can't be hexed and cursed by the average person or even the top person on this planet. It's because I have something in place that actually converts anything that is sent my way into a frequency and an energy that actually serves me. So if you're throwing shit my way, thank you very much. That is awesome. But this, I'm only telling you this because this is the importance of an aura, a very strong aura. So I'm going to put a few notes in this, like I said, in the lesson, but otherwise just ask me some questions. So how can you strengthen your aura? Well, of course, be in great mental health, drink lots of water. I would say always swim in the ocean. Now, I grew up on Sydney's beaches, Sydney in Australia. I'm a beach baby. You wouldn't believe it, right? But, I would always spend a large amount of time in the ocean. The ocean is the best way to actually cleanse your aura, because it's the bioelectricity. The ocean is full of ions, and it just resets our magnetic field and just cleanses us like no other. And this is why saltwater bathing is so important, especially like me now. I'm living in New Orleans. there's no ocean here to swim in, is there? There's a Mississippi River. And if you've lived around here or you know about the Mississippi, you're not going to jump in there for a cleanse. It's going to be, you'll never be seen again. And you're not going to go swimming actually anywhere around here unless it's in a public pool, or in a pool, let's just say that. So it's really important that you do your cleanses. That's why I gave you the easy ritual that you can do right now for that cleanse. Okay. Let me just alcohol, excessive smoking, emotional stress, hospital surgery. All of these things can break down your aura, make you into a more weakened state. So basically, your aura is your defense system. And the easiest way, without having to spell cast or do specific rituals, and you've got some talismans probably already around your house, or you're wearing one now, but having something like a salt water bowl around your house is important to attract any negative energy or energies that aren't serving you into. Salt draws, it removes, and we want that to draw or remove all that negativity into the salt water bowl, and therefore it's not going into you. And that way you're able to remove any other negativity through your saltwater bath, and then have your saltwater bowl to absorb. And that is an awesome way that you can begin your protection, and it's going to cost you nothing. Okay, let's get into it. So, a bowl. You'll need a bowl. Now, I'm using these little cute bowls. I like them. They look somewhat traditional, but whatever that means, right? When I go back, for example, when I go back to Australia, to Sydney, and my children, who are all young adults now, I just feel I use a bowl what is in their kitchen cupboards, and I just pull them straight out because I need to lay saltwater bowls all around their house as soon as I get there to absorb all that hectic energy that just fucks up with my frequency. I need to get that on the boil straight away. So I just pull whatever I have out in the cupboard. I get that ready, and let me just show you as simple as what this is. So say, for example, what is this? This is just what I've got in the cupboard, right? So this is Himalayan pink crystal salt. It is what it is. I just put a handful, right, and then put it straight into the bowl. The salt knows what to do. It's been doing it since the beginning of time. I just pour some water to the top of the bowl. And actually, all I think as I'm doing that, and you can call out to whatever spiritual energy you want. For me personally, I said, Astaroth, please remove any negativity that is in my environment that does not serve me. So be it. And you'll make your own little mantra depending on your religion. If you want to say a psalm, if you want to say whatever you want to say, if you want to say nothing, that's totally okay. Maybe you're not comfortable with it. And that's really it. So as you can see, that's quite as simple as it can be. Now, let me just show you. I'll remove these files. Say, for example, this is my, desk area. And, I've got an altar here that's facing to the south. Maybe I just get this bowl and I put it down here on the floor. Now, I don't have children or cats or anything that's going to run in here and knock that over. It's out of the way of my chair. And actually, that could be probably quite safe there. I could just leave it there. And the goal of it knows what to do. It's just going to absorb any negativity that's in this area that doesn't serve me. That's the goal of it. Now, if I'm going through a really stressful period, how often would I do this? Or how many bowls would I set? Well, if you're under any form of spiritual attack, you should have at least one in each corner of your bedroom, one under the bed itself, one definitely in your office areas, This in your lounge room or where you sit, where there's a lot of negativity. For example, like I said, when I go back to Australia and my children are all there, and it's not bad, but they've got boyfriends and girlfriends and all sorts of challenges and issues and I just need to absorb some of that because I know they like me staying at their places as well, and I just need to chill all of this down so I can, so my energy can actually be in that environment and it just not, I'm just not reacting in a negative way because that's never good. So even with my own kids, right? And it really helps. So within at least 24 hours, you'll notice some level of calmness. And by the end of the week, perhaps all the water is absorbed anyway, depending, of course, on your environment. But if it's a really serious issue, then maybe you're going to want to replace that bowl at the end of that week and keep doing it. Like if you're being attacked in your dreams, why not keep a bowl under your bed at all times until you get enough skill and get in control of this situational issue? Anyways, that's what I want you to do this week, right? I've made it so simple, right? Now, if you have questions, of course, get into the lesson itself, into the comments, and write your question there. I'm back here once a week, every week on a Thursday to look out for these questions and comments. And like I said, I'm not sure in this course if you really want me to dig too far into the aura and that level. If you'd like me to do a lesson on that, I'm more than happy to do that for you guys. But just remember this is a week by week course, and I do want you trying to take something away from this every week that's related to hoodoo or hoodoo witchcraft. Anyways, I hope I've made sense, and I will see you next week. Love you all. Bye.